Hello everyone, thank you for joining today's webinar. I'll just wait a couple of minutes before we get started, just so anyone that is yet to join us can still get the start of this. So I will join you in a few minutes. Get started. So again, thank you for joining today's webinar, 5 Remote Support Tips to Drive Customer Service Excellence. I'm your host, Scarlett Bayes, and I'm joined by BeyondTrust Lead Solutions Engineer, Damien Brown. With a growing number of internal and external challenges faced by support teams, including an increasing number of IoT devices to support and more organizations implementing bring your own device strategies, support teams are constantly asked to do more with less and yet need to continue to deliver excellent customer service. In a bit, Damien is going to take you through those 5 top tips to ensuring customer service excellence, as well as sharing some other fantastic insight. But before I hand over to Damien, I want to share some findings from our recent report SDI published in collaboration with BeyondTrust. If you want the full report, which explores the impact of remote support, it's now freely available in the Insight area of the SDI website. So of the nearly 80% of respondents that specified they have a remote support tool, all of them specified that their tool meets the requirements of their organization. And that's a great insight for service desks who are currently don't have a remote support tool, but plan to in the future or are building a business case for one, because it shows that organizations can quickly realize the benefits of their remote support solution. Having said that, less than half of respondents saw improvements in performance metrics as a direct result of having their remote support tool. Something I found interesting is that 13% have said that it's too soon to tell. And while you might expect that this answer comes from respondents who haven't had their tool very long, a deeper analysis of the data showed that there was actually no correlation between those two factors. 29% said that they don't measure metrics related to this, which is somewhat concerning because it's important to set performance indicators when assessing any new implementation specified, including remote support tools, in order to identify the benefits achieved. But then again, all respondents specified that their tool met their organization's needs. However, it would seem that these 29% needs are not tied to performance metrics. There are many benefits that a remote support tool can deliver, besides allowing the service desk to connect to end users' workstations and monitoring the overall impact a tool is having on service desk performance to understand the tangible and intangible return on investment of the tool and highlight any improvement opportunities. Speaking of benefits, the most common improvement that service desks with a remote support tool have seen is an improved first-time fix rate. In terms of other benefits, the service desk can realise 71% and 37% of respondents have benefited from greater flexibility of support and a reduction in support cost. Better customer satisfaction or experience also ranked highly among these benefits. Generally, the faster and more effectively the service desk can resolve a customer's issue, the happier they will be. In a similar vein, 35% have realised a reduction in customer effort to resolve an issue. Moving on to the less positive aspects, the report data showed that while most respondents with a remote support tool were able to connect to a remote worker, here we can see that just over half of respondents have faced significant challenges with this feature. Mobile support was the second most common challenge reported. If the service desk can't connect to a customer's mobile device remotely, the customer will be unable to work, causing frustration and lost productivity. In a similar vein, cross-platform compatibility was identified as a significant challenge by 24%. Security issues are also a significant challenge for a quarter of respondents, as remote support tools can create vulnerabilities within an organization's infrastructure. However, there are several remote support tool vendors who understand how integral security is to IT organizations and work to ensure that their tools meet various compliance regulations and remove these security vulnerabilities. 2020 has presented an incredibly unique set of challenges for organizations in the form of a global pandemic, and many have had to kickstart or accelerate digital transformation projects and adapt to a new way of working very quickly. Undoubtedly, service desks will have had an influx of contacts as business employees get to grips with working from home, and in some cases, remote support may provide the best effective resolution for their issues. Choosing the right remote support tool is critical to the productivity and security of your service desk, and it has never been more important as during these challenging times to deliver return on investment and customer experience improvements. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Damien so that he can take you through ensuring customer service excellence with remote support. And if you have any questions for Damien, please post them in the questions tab and we will get to them at the end.
Thank you for that, Scarlett. It's much appreciated. Good afternoon all. I'm just going to share my presentation with you. Hopefully everyone can see that.
Yeah, it looks good my end.
Excellent. So good afternoon everyone, and thank you for joining us today. In today's presentation, as Scarlett said, we'll be taking a look at the top 5 remote support tips to drive customer service excellence. As Scarlett has already mentioned, if anyone has any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat window and we'll answer them after the presentation. As an introduction, my name is Damien Brown and I'm a lead solutions engineer here at BeyondTrust. Just to give you some background, I've been working in the IT industry now for over 20 years. My experience in IT is mainly focused in help desk and IT management for a variety of industries. So as you can imagine, I've been on both sides of the service desk, requesting support and hopefully giving it. So who is BeyondTrust? BeyondTrust is a worldwide leader in privileged access management, offering the most seamless approach to preventing data breaches related to stolen credentials, misused privileges, and compromised remote access. At BeyondTrust, we provide award-winning enterprise remote support software that can support any user, any device, anywhere. As you can see in this slide, BeyondTrust is trusted by over 20,000 customers worldwide, including organizations across all industries and 72 of the Fortune 100. In today's agenda, we'll be taking a look at the following topics. Top 5 tips to drive customer service excellence. We'll then take a deep dive into the things you should look out for in a comprehensive remote support solution. This includes see what they see. Wouldn't it be nice to see what you're trying to support? We'll have a look at how we can utilize the camera on mobile devices to offer support. Stats. Why the service desk metrics or statistics are so important and how we can view them to make informed decisions. Everyone's happy, right? We all think about happy customers. How about your service desk staff? Session initiation methods. How do we start a support session with your end users? ITSM integrations. We'll look at how we can integrate the ITSM tools and what this means for you. And finally, we'll take a few moments to look at the BeyondTrust portfolio. So let's take a look at the top 5 remote support tips to drive customer service excellence. Number 1, increase first call resolution. I think we can all agree this is a major metric with any IT service desk. The question we should ask is, how can a remote support tool increase the first call resolution? Well, I believe it's all about having the right tools to empower your representatives to view and control all platforms and all mobile devices. With more users working from home and businesses now accepting bring your own device environments, having one tool that can support all these environments is a must. This will bring 3 major benefits. Faster time to value, less training required as only one tool is being used, and less cost and maintenance of a single solution. Your remote support tool should allow direct access from a session to a knowledge management system to leverage key support information. Bringing this all together means that with the right tools and capabilities, representatives will be able to solve more incidents faster and increase first call resolution. We'll discuss what the right remote support tool should look like later in the presentation. Number 2, Integrate with your existing solutions. Let's face it, I think all IT professionals have used a tool that does not integrate well with the company's existing IT portfolio. And it just makes life hard work, as most of the configuration settings and data is held within another application. We believe great software integrates and complements your existing portfolio of solutions. A remote support solution should allow seamless integration that empowers your representative and does not disrupt them. It is vital that your remote support solution can be integrated into your IT service management solution. This level of integration can allow a centralized application for ITSM. Some use cases including allowing representatives to launch direct access to an asset from your CMDB, or create a session key for a user directly from an incident form. Where things really start to pick up in terms of efficiency is the ability for a remote support tool to send the complete audit trail and session recording back to the ITSM and back to the correlating incident or change. This really saves so much time for representatives who will be used to typing up reports about how they resolved the incident, what was done, and what could be done better next time. Next, we should make use of existing security providers. With your remote support tool, have you ever had to log on to applications with a username and password which is different from your main corporate account? Yeah, it's a pain. Let's integrate with LDAP, Radius, Kerberos Samon, and SCIM to streamline single sign-on, like all other major applications. From these remote support tools, the agent should also be able to quickly and efficiently look up articles from your knowledge management system in order to diagnose any recurring incidents which might be documented. Let's also integrate with an existing enterprise password management solution you may have. To elevate with admin rights from the secure vault, how much simpler would that be? It's also worth noting that syslog and application data should be sent directly to your SIEM tool, like Splunk. From these log aggregators, you can provide in-depth analytics and dashboards for security incident and event management for your environment. Number 3, provide easy collaboration. Have you ever been in a session with a customer that you cannot resolve or just can't remember that command? Have ever had to book up a follow-up appointment to attempt to fix again? This is where easy collaboration really counts to solve the incident first time around. When you're in a session, you want to be reassured that it's easy to bring in another pair of eyes, whether that's a colleague from the same team or another department. Your remote support tool should also enable you to invite external specialists onto the session without having to give them access to your tool, where you can control if they can view or control within the session for just-in-time access. How about if this was all done through a web browser? So there's also no need for any software to be installed. Easy for everyone. This is a great use case for environments where vendors might need to support us. Remember, the video output should be recorded so that we can always download the video and share it with the team for training in case anything was missed. Ever picked up a session that's not in the correct queue? Well, the remote support tool should allow you to transfer that session in real time, all while the customer stays connected and never sees a drop in support. This again will speed up incident response time and really keep the support sessions quick and easy. Number 4, privileged passwords. No thanks. Trying to securely store and manage privileged passwords can be a nightmare. Remote support tools are often overlooked in privileged access management, even though we can have a whole host of privileged users, whether they are shared or named accounts. The right remote support tool will have credential vaulting capabilities built in, where credentials are being managed, rotated, and audited for every session. Need to check that password out manually? Yeah, that should be an option too. This should not only support Windows environments, but many other systems, including SSH keys for Linux, Unix, or systems with local authentication. Admin rights are typically used in 2 ways by the service desk. In attended sessions where the representative needs to elevate their rights to perform a privileged task, such as installing software or changing a setting. Also, in unattended sessions where the representative needs to log onto a server to perform routine maintenance or configure a change. Your remote support tool should empower administrators where they do not need to log on as another user to make a change or to go to an unsecured document to grab a password themselves. We should take away that responsibility and that burden by elevating when needed and storing the credentials for them. Number 5, automate workflows. During my past, working on an IT help desk, we had a bug in a web service that meant IIS logs were not being cleared correctly. Daily, we had to log on to this server and manually archive old log files so there would be no service disruption to this critical server. It took the developers weeks to fix this. So as you can imagine, the time spent moving these files manually took someone's time, which ultimately means money spent. In this use case, it would have been great to have canned scripts in an unattended session to that Windows server within the remote support tool that we were using. This would have saved time and made sure the change was carried out the same way each and every time. More importantly, it meant that anyone in the team could have executed the script as it was safe to do so. If you're making use of chatbots today, these should also integrate with your remote support tool and hand off conversations automatically where human support is needed for seamless transition. Real-time translation should also be an integration option within your remote support tool. Are you sick of using copy and paste into Google Translate? I certainly was. Real-time text translation should dynamically pick up the locale of the representative and the customer's endpoint to enable automatic real-time text translation from the chat window. What a time saver. So we've spoken about those top 5 service tips. Let's have a look at some of the things within a comprehensive remote support solution, specifically what BeyondTrust can offer. When thinking about remote support tools, we should make sure we take these items into consideration. The main objective of remote support is supporting users, desktops, and devices, regardless of platform and location. Hopefully, you'll understand that this product enables the IT service desk to support users and end devices within the business or for your customers. Let's take a look at some of the features. Secure remote support. Provide fast remote assistance to any desktop, server, or mobile device with screen sharing and remote control. We support Windows, Mac, Linux, Unix, Android, and iOS devices. Monitoring. Log all session activity for a complete audit trail with real-time reporting. We also have the ability to record screen output in real time. Chat support. Increase support staff productivity and end user satisfaction with chat integration. Agents can use predefined scripts in order to reduce diagnostic time. Real-time text translation also breaks down the language barrier for seamless support. Remote camera sharing. Perform remote support on anything your customers can see, including hardware and peripherals. This can be helpful in order to guide users in the physical world and not just the virtual one. No more getting frustrated and telling a user what a HDMI port looks like. We can annotate on screen to highlight where the cable goes. Integrations. Maximize your existing investments. We are able to integrate with all leading ITSM, SIEM, and password management tools. Let's have a look at some of these a bit further. See what they see. How much time have you spent over your service desk career saying to the end user, not that port? Wouldn't it be so much easier if you could see what they could see? Imagine taking that to the next level by annotating on the screen to highlight where that cable needs to go. Not only would this save countless hours of frustration, but it could decrease the amount of time having to go to site to pop a cable in, and ultimately increasing the satisfaction of the end user as you fix the problem first time. Stats. We love them. With any IT service desk, data, statistics, and metrics are vital. With many reports being manually updated or exported into tools like Excel, why not make use of a real-time dashboard? At BeyondTrust, we can provide the following answers to the following questions in real time, as well as provide historical analysis on: how is my service desk performing? How many sessions are in progress? Are tickets being fixed quickly? Are we resolving issues? What's the longest wait time? Have any sessions been abandoned? Really useful metrics. And having this data presented in real time in a clear, readable format empowers IT service desks to make informed decisions about resources, trends, and streamlining processes. Everyone's happy, right? We all strive to offer the best service to our end users. That's a given, whether they be internal or external. But what about your service desk staff? Don't they deserve a best-in-class product that makes their jobs easier? Don't they deserve to be happy? Once service desk staff are happy, the standard of support for your end users goes up, as they've been empowered with the right tool. All the other vital stats that we talked about before go down. It's a dream. Let's think about how we initiate a session. Session initiation is really important for a remote support product. How do customers request support in your organizations? How does the IT service desk connect to an unattended device? On the left is that customer initiated support session, which we normally see. In this case, there is an end user who has either raised a self-service ticket or raised a support session through a web portal. From here, the analyst can take a look at the incident details and then start the session to view and control the endpoint if needed. The second session initiation method at BeyondTrust is the ability to invite an external expert to help support the session. This could be a vendor or a third party who can help us collaborate on that session. And don't forget what I said before, we can control what they do, view or control the screen. The third example is technician-initiated support, where the IT service desk needs to routinely connect devices such as switches, routers, or different server platforms to perform ad hoc tasks like updates or configuration changes. All of this is within one tool. ITSM integrations. BeyondTrust offers seamless integration with all major ITSM platforms. Some of the main systems are listed here on the right-hand side. Does your remote support tool integrate with your ITSM solution? Do you wish you could create ad hoc sessions directly from an incident? Would connecting to a configuration item from the CMDB save you time? Wouldn't it be great if all the session activity, screen recording, and events were automatically sent back to your change or incident? These are all some example use cases of BeyondTrust remote support and ITSM integrations. So let's have a quick look at the rest of the BeyondTrust portfolio. Here at BeyondTrust, we do remote support really well, and our remote support solution fits right into the secure remote access pillar on the right-hand side of the BeyondTrust portfolio. Let's take a look at some of the other products in our portfolio which can be added at any time on your privileged access management journey. In the middle, we have endpoint privilege management. This solution allows you to remove excessive privileges across your environment, mainly local admin rights, on Windows, Mac, Linux, and Unix devices. We have predefined flexible work styles straight out of the box, so we can deploy the solution within days, not months. We then elevate only the applications and processes needed in order for users to perform their job. On the left, we have privileged password management. This solution is an enterprise password management application. Here, we can automatically discover, manage, and audit all privileged accounts within your environment. These accounts include local Windows admins, root accounts, SA accounts for databases, and SSH keys, to name a few. This solution will help manage and discover all of your privileged accounts for you. Finally, at the bottom, we have Beyond Insight. This web-based application ingests data from all three products at the top, where we can run reports, monitor and configure our PAM environment all from one location. This really is a single pane of glass for our privileged access management solution. So as we come to the end, is a call to action. So please think about things I've mentioned today and how that fits in with your current remote support tool and helps you drive customer service excellence, and how some of the features of the BeyondTrust remote support tool could help you increase that satisfaction. Please visit www.beyondtrust.com/remote-support for more information about our remote support tool. And if you're interested in our remote support tool product or any of the other BeyondTrust products I've mentioned and would like further info, then please visit our contact page to arrange further discussions and possibly a demonstration. Just want to say thank you very much for attending today's presentation. I hope you've enjoyed it and happy to take any questions if you have some.
Thanks so much for that, Damien. I do have a couple of questions. So someone asked, you discussed storing and managing passwords, and they want to know how BeyondTrust Remote Support can do this.
That's a really great question. So within the BeyondTrust Remote Support tool, we have a function called Vault. Now, what our Vault capability allows you to do is to scan your Active Directory environment and then onboard some accounts that you want to bring into the Vault. The Vault then allows you to use the password. Let's say it's a domain administrator password that you don't want to give out to technicians or any of your IT support staff. Then allows you to use that password without anyone seeing the password. So when you're in a remote support session, say you need to install a new printer driver, it allows you to grab that password, inject it into the support session, elevate the installation file so then it can run as administrator, and then once that is finished and the session is closed, the password can then automatically be rotated upon that as well. We can also do that with many other accounts. We're able to scan for endpoints and then onboard local admin accounts if needed as well. So if you're utilizing some sort of managed rollout of machines and you have a generic admin account on those local machines, and you may want to rotate that password, maybe due to someone leaving or just something you do as good practice, we can scan those endpoints, we can onboard into Vault that local admin account, and we're then able to rotate that password on a set period of days. And that is a really good way of using our Vault technology.
Okay, fantastic. We do have one more question at the moment, unless anyone else chimes in. It might be a bit more complicated, but you were talking about integrations earlier, and Vinay has asked whether they can utilize RPA, remote process automation, for more efficiency.
That's a very, very good question. The answer is yes. Whether we control the integration with some of those technologies is not always down to us. We have a lot, whilst the ones that I mentioned on screen with integrations are mainly developed by us and we update those based upon any changes within our software. There are lots of other integrations that are managed by the third-party vendors. So something that if you want to go and check that out, speak to your vendor to see if they do integrate with us. If not, and they do have an open API, we also have an open API, so maybe we have to configure some integrations via our API. There's a lot of documentation on our support homepage about what API commands and requests can be made back to our devices, our effective secure appliances.
Okay, brilliant. Well, thank you so much for all your insight today, Damien. It's been really great having you on.
No, thank you very much.
Okay, I hope you have a brilliant rest of your day, everyone.